Good morning, guys. I hope you're all well. Welcome to FPL Team Talk. So, in this video, this is the first time that I've done a live stream. So, apologies for any internet worries or technology issues. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to try and get through this. I thought this would be the best time, really, to possibly do a wild stream. I have activated that wildcard. It is live. I've done a couple of videos on it, so I'd like you to have a look at it if you can. It's up on the screen at the moment. It's been one tweak that I wanted to go through with you in terms of the wildcard team, but I'll go through it right now with you. Please let me know what you think of it below. Anything that you're unsure about or you think that I need to improve on or that you disagree with, I'd love to hear of any comments below. But let's just quickly go through it then, because I'm pretty much 90% sure this is going to be my end product, my wildcard team. I've got Sarr in goal and Ramsdale is on the bench. Sarr will definitely play this week with those two fixtures. They just look fantastic. And then the same really for Kilman. He's just, out of all the Wolves defenders, I just feel he is absolutely nailed on. And I don't want to miss out on a double game week. It could have been Cody. I just think Kilman, he just offers just as much attacking threat. Sois is probably going to offer slightly more attacking threat. Even he isn't, I'd say, 100% nailed, though he has had the African Cup of Nations. So I could have gone Sois, just cheaper. Kilman was the one for me. Then I move across the back. I've got Rudiger. I just want to get into that Chelsea defence. They have some great fixtures coming up. We'll talk about the captaincy in a minute. I'm not wildly happy about the fact that I've got Rudiger as captain. I just look into the other options. I'm just not sure there's anyone better. It's a really boring pick, and I hate the fact that I'm going to be watching that game praying for a clean sheet. That's just not ideal whatsoever. But there you go. So Rudiger will be the one who'll be on captain at the moment. I'm also going to go for Reece James. I doubt whether he's going to play both games. That's what concerns me a little bit. But I think I'm going to want him in long term, so I expect him to play 2 of the next 3. I'll be surprised if he doesn't play against Burnley. Norway may be rested, then he has the Newcastle game. We've got Champions League after that. I just for the long term, he's got to come in, and if I don't bring him in now, I just feel like I'm completely booking in a transfer later on, which I don't want to do. I've got Target as well. Target again nailed in that fullback position for Newcastle. They do tend to play, they're a lot tighter than they were. So again, the fact they've got a double-double, I just think he's going to outscore a lot of other people just by simply the amount of games he's playing. Sorry guys, I've got a couple of questions coming in, so that's great. Walker Peters or Cancelo? That's interesting. Walker Peters does have the double game week. There is a flag on him though, so I'm not sure. As well, Sandra got Perot and Livramento. I think that's a tough one, isn't it? I think I'll go get Kevin Walker Peters just for the price you're saving, and you've got the double. Cancelo only needs to concede 1 against Manchester United, and that's it. He's clean sheet. Jimenez, yes, I agree. He looks like a good option on pens pretty much now. I like Jimenez, no doubt about that. I've gone Hwang. He's just a lot cheaper, and he just enables me to do things elsewhere. Wolves fans have been telling me that Jimenez has not been perhaps on it. He's not been playing as well as in the last few games. Obviously, I don't know whether or not it was dropped or just rested for the last game. But Jimenez for me, he's definitely an option. I don't think it's a bad call. But Hwang, I'm giving him for price and minutes. I think he's a little bit more nailed at the moment. So that's the reason why I've gone Hwang. Looking at Digne, I just think Villa got some cracking fixtures as well. I'm not entirely convinced about their defence, but he's such an attacking player. I just think he's got to come in. Midfield, Ramsey. I'm surprised no one's even talking about Coutinho. That was the one thing that clearly offered a really good sort of option in terms of captaincy. I'm just not sure about his figures. I think Southampton are playing really well as well, so that's a difficult game. And then I think Leeds away. I don't think that's with a new manager. They are missing Llorente. I don't think it's a bad call. You have both Walker Peters or Cancelo. Wow. I think. Oh, it's a difficult one, isn't it? If you're going for both, I think you'd have to go. I'd have to go Cancelo, perhaps. If you got both, play Cancelo, because I don't think Walker Peters plays both games. And Man City likely to get a clean sheet against Man United. It's a good chance. And Southampton do have Newcastle. I can see them keeping 1 clean sheet, Southampton, but will he play in that? That's the other option. don't know. It's a difficult one, that one. I think I'd go Cancelo. Just he's got a bit more attacking option. Man City at home, and then perhaps have Kevin Walker-Peters as the first man on the bench. I think it's difficult one there, but yeah, go Cancelo if I was you. Could go either way though, really, couldn't it? I like the fact you got both though. That's quite nice. Shame, it's a pity you can't play Kevin Walker-Peters when he's got a double game week, and obviously two of those both blank in game week 30. So that's a bit of an issue. So going across, I got Willock. I didn't go for Willock initially. Really wasn't someone I had him at the end of last season when he scored 7 games in a row, something like that. He was just on fire, but I wasn't convinced about his figures again. But his price is really good. I can't remember whose podcast I think I watched, but he did convince me basically that Willock, he's playing every game, he's nailed, he's got 2 games, a double. It's definitely worth having a Newcastle player in that side. So, yeah, I think Willock has got to come in. The price is just so good as well. Talked about Hwang. I've got the vice captaincy on him, but, I mean, it could be absolutely anyone. I can't see Rudiger missing out both games. Hopefully, he's in there because he plays both. But Broja just looks brilliant for Southampton. Can't imagine he's going to stay there, unfortunately, for the rest of this, for next season. But he looks great. He looks nailed on. Cheaper than Adams. I just think, he's got to be... I just don't trust Adams. He does go on these little runs of goals. But again, for the price and what I saved myself, Broja I just think is a better option. And then Harry Kane up front. What I don't like, I think, is having Kane, Son, and Salah on the bench because they're my single game week players. But if I don't have them in the side and bring them in, then I can't. I'm just booking myself a transfer in. Mings and Thiago Silva or James and Livramento? Mings and Thiago Silva or James and Livramento? I think Thiago Silva, doesn't he have a flag on him? Him and Christensen are a doubt, so I can't see him playing both games. Mings against Hampton Leeds, I'm not sure that they would play. I'm sure Mings I would have thought would play both games. James, again, is he going to play both games? Livramento's a good chance I think he plays both games because he didn't play in the Cup. I would go James and Livramento. If you've got all of them, I think James is someone you definitely got to bring in. Thiago Silva, I just can't see him playing every minute of the next 2 matches, especially when he's got a flag, so they'll manage him a little bit, I would have thought, with the Champions League coming up. Mings, not sure. Wasn't he dropped a few weeks ago as well? And Aston Villa, I just don't think I trust their defence. I can't see him keeping Southampton out today, if I'm honest. But Reece James, yes. I'd go James and Livramento. I think those two both got doubles. Livramento's just been rested. Good attacking option. Newcastle at home, Villa away. I think that's 2 decent fixtures for Southampton. Southampton are playing really well. So, for my money, I'll go James and Livramento there. So, go back to side. Captaincy. Yeah, I've gone Rudiger. Just think it's really boring. I don't really, like I said, I just sat there thinking I'm going to have to try and hope that I'll get 2 clean sheets to get anything out of that. But I don't see a lot of other choices. I don't want to go for a single game week player. Hwang, I just don't think Wolves score enough goals for my liking. They've got 2 great fixtures. I did start thinking about possibly having Sarr as he gets a lot of save points and there's possibly 2 clean sheets there. Again, Wolves just been conceding 1 or 2 recently. I can see Palace perhaps scoring there. It's a really tricky one this week. I mean, if I knew Reece James was going to start both games, he'd be an absolute shoo-in. It would be without a doubt he would get the nod. But I think, for me, it's going to just have to be Rudiger. I do think his attacking sort of aspect of his game gets sidetracked a little bit. I do think he does get forward. He likes to carry and bring the ball forward quite a lot. I do think he has got, and he's obviously got the threat from set pieces. But the fact he just plays 2 games for me, he's absolutely nails it for me. Digne, I don't think I could go with him. The idea of bringing Coutinho, as I said in my videos before, if you didn't watch them, I love the idea of Coutinho. If I upgraded a Ramsey to a Coutinho, what it does stop me doing is it gives me, that still keeps my player in game week 30, which I'm going to try and get through without free hitting. But then I can't afford to get to Maddison. I'll be like 0.1 million off. It'd be really close. So for that reason, I've just had to go Ramsey in the end. He doesn't offer what Coutinho offers. The other choice was going someone taking out Kulusevski because Well, I've taken out Kulusevski. That was the one change I was going to go through with you guys. I've taken out Kulusevski, and I'm going to be playing Saka. I just think with Moura coming back, I'm worried. I'm worried that he doesn't play as many minutes. Moura was in quite a good streak, and he was playing a lot of games under Conte. So you got Broja, Havertz, or James, or Rodrigo captain. Yeah, Broja, Havertz. I'm not sure about Havertz. I just don't know if he's going to play both games. Is he? I think he's got great fixtures. If you think Havertz is going to play both games, I absolutely think he's a great option for captain. Broja, not sure as well as he's going to play both games. Possibly does. You can see what I've gone. I've got James, Rudiger, and Broja. So I've gone Rudiger. I might have 3 options to sell Robbo or Rudiger, and captain him or sell Robin. So you have 3 options: sell Robbo to Rudiger, okay, and captain him, okay, and sell sell Robbo to James, or bank the transfer. Won't captain James. I'm not sure why you're getting rid of Robbo. He's got a single game this week, but he has got a double in 29. I'm not sure I'd get rid of Robbo before the game week 29. I mean, unless you've got another, you must have a better option. You must have someone else you can captain instead. I don't think I'd like getting rid of Robbo. I think James, yes, bring him in after game week 29, or maybe after 30, because Chelsea blank in 30, of course. But getting rid of Robbo just before a double game week in 29, unless you're convinced he won't play both games. Would you bench boost with Dennis, Foster, Gabriel and Lacazette this week? So Watford have just got the single game week. Gabriel and Lacazette, would that? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't because they've just got single game weeks. Foster will no doubt play. Dennis will play. Gabriel and Lacazette will play as well. But in a single game week, I wouldn't. If you've got the same side in game week 29 when you know Arsenal are doubling, but then presumably you've got other players that aren't. Not for me. It's a difficult one in bench, which I used mine a long time ago when I knew my bench was playing. I think it's probably the least favourite of my chips. It's not a lot of fun, but I would not go Gabriel and Lacazette for a bench boost for me this week. But again, I wouldn't worry too much about your bench boost. I wouldn't start rearranging your side and making transfers in order just to get a bench boost. I think you lose too many points just having to do that. But for me, no, I wouldn't bench boost yet. I'd looking at game week 36, which is going to be huge. If you haven't wildcard, you could set that up in game week 31, 32. Don't know who to bench and captain. Well, if you tell me your side, it is tricky, I think, with so many double game weeks. I don't know. If you let me know what the options are, I can maybe give you a suggestion. So yeah, Saka was just a straightforward swap. I brought him in for Kulusevski. Just worried. Watford have a double. Oh, they do, don't they? But it's not great. Okay, so you could have Dennis and Foster as a double. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. Who have they got? Who are Watford doubling against them? Watford have a double. Arsenal at home, Wolves away. So home, Wolves away. It's not the worst double, is it? And then you've got Arsenal do have Watford. Obviously, just a one game of Watford. Okay, if you think they're all going to play, yeah. Okay, I don't see. It's. You could take a chance and see if your side's set up in game week 36. It might be, but. Yeah, okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with you going for it there. Yeah, I absolutely don't think it's wrong. De Gea, Tierney, Trent, Lamptey, Mount. Nice side. De Gea just got a single game week. So who would you captain? Mount, Rafinha, Ward-Prowse, Salah, Breuer, Watkins, Jimenez, bench, Walton, Laporte, Johnson. You got Mount. If he plays both games, they've got great fixtures, haven't they, Mount? If you think Mount's going to play both games, then yeah, I think possibly Mount would be a great option. Other than that, Rafinha has got 2 games, so Rafinha would be nice as well. So Leeds have Leicester away, Villa at home. New manager, Rafinha's surely got to play both games. And then Mount, just those 2 green fixtures, isn't it? Burnley and Norwich away. Mount got a hat-trick at home to Norwich. I just suspect they're going to be a lot tougher now. Yeah. I think out of that, Rafinha or Mount. If you think Mount plays both games, I'll go Mount. Otherwise, if you're not sure about that and there's a bit of risk, then I'd go Rafinha. The benefit of having Rudiger is the captain this week, mainly. Yeah. Well, and also the Chelsea's fixtures is brilliant for almost up until the end of the season. So you've got someone who's nailed in that defence. I think, don't underestimate that. James is just to have a transfer done, which I'll do in a few weeks. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I did think about this morning. Actually, I did think, am I bringing in? I am. You are saving a transfer by bringing James in now, because no doubt you're gonna want him in a few weeks' time. But then, when is the ideal to bring him in? Time to bring him in? If he starts both games, or I think he'll start next 2 out of the next 3. So maybe now is the optimal time. You're getting in ahead of everyone else, and you're going to, hopefully, he's got great fixtures as well. So I suppose we never know until after the event when this time to bring him in was. But yeah, I'm the same as you. I'm not 100% sure James is right now the great option. He might be if he starts both games, but I don't want a wild card and then end up booking a transfer a week or 2 down the line. I mean, this wild card is really to prevent me from having to wild card and make transfers later on. I mean, the plan with this side, guys, is that he's set up for game week 28, obviously, where we'll have, 10 double game week players. And then in game week 29, I'll have 7, not intending to make any transfers because Rudiger and Jay still have a great fixture at home to Newcastle. And then in game week 30, I've got 8 game week players, but I'd have 2 transfers then. And my intentions at the moment, and no doubt things will happen, liable to change, I would bring in Maddison. So out come Willock, out come Target, and in come Maddison, and a Leicester defender could be Thomas. See who's available. I mean, James, if he's fit and available, Justin, he might be an option, but you just worry about his minutes as well. Pereira possibly as well. So that would be my plan. That would give me 10 players without taking any sort of hit in game week 30. I could then take a hit and bring someone else in. We'll see. And the side looks pretty good from game week 31 onwards as well. And I'd have 2 Leicester players in, which, I know they've got so many games to rearrange. That would be nice as well. And the whole idea as well, from get with 30, I've still got 2 free hits. So the fact that I'd have 2 free hits leading into game week, between game week 31 and 38, wow, that just seems really appealing to me. I love the idea that I can have that flexibility and avoid taking hits what other people may be doing in your mini leagues and stuff. So this side, long and hard, mould over it. I don't like the fact that I've only got Salah from Liverpool. Don't like that particularly. I do want Trent,